Recently, Dash Incubator lead strategist Ryan Gull was a guest on DAOWatch Fireside with Cryptosi. Near the end of their chat, Cryptosi asked a pretty poignant question.
What kind of things do you think other DAOs could learn from what's happened with Dash? What sorts of things would you say are, I guess, good practices that Dash has done or bad practices that other DAOs should avoid?
I really don't know how to answer that question because I feel like I'm still learning so much myself.
One of the communities that Ryan then went on to mention was not in the crypto sphere, but the dollar system. In Ryan's words,
the dollar system has actually done a lot of things right. They've got a lot of things figured out. The Federal Reserve has got a lot of things figured out. But the problem with those systems is that they're unethical.
Unethical, not conforming to a high moral standard, morally wrong, not ethical. What Ryan said is that the dollar system is unethical. Why?
They don't allow competition and for other people to do what they're doing, which is successful. They don't allow other people to do those successful things.
They don't allow competition. This brings to mind Bernard van Nothaus, a surfer and mint master at the Royal Hawaiian Mint, who in 1998 launched the American Liberty Dollar, a private voluntary barter currency. The Liberty Dollar came in rounds and in printed certificates and was backed by silver and gold. Von Nothaus never put forth that his items were created by the U.S. Mint or were Federal Reserve notes. Still, U.S. political actors saw the Liberty Dollar as competition. So in 2007, some folks with badges stole $7 million worth of Von Nothaus's inventory, and in 2009, some other folks targeted him in legal land. A Wall Street Journal article recounts how his prosecutor, Ann Tompkins, made the hyperbolic claim that Van Nothaus's efforts to undermine the legitimate currency of this country are simply a unique form of domestic terrorism that represent a clear and present danger to the economic stability of this country. Seriously? Faced with the force of the U.S. regime, Van Nothaus shut down his operation. Today he's back, at least somewhat. He's now promoting the new Liberty Dollar, issued by the Liberty Dollar Financial Association, which, due to the hoops and fine print, doesn't seem poised to gain mass adoption. Alas. And backers of the U.S. dollar system don't only flex against competition within its claimed political boundaries. Consider Muammar Gaddafi, former head of Libya. For decades, Gaddafi had been vilified by Western governments and media. Why? Because he was not inclined to bend the knee, and he questioned the historic and ongoing colonialism in Africa. He was one of the first to oppose apartheid in South Africa, forever earning lifelong friendship with Nelson Mandela. But it was his call for greater Pan-Africanism. He revitalized the idea of an African Union and called a summit in his hometown of Sirte, and for a gold-backed currency that attracted the ire of those who backed the Eurodollar system. A quick side story, once upon a time Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. When journalist Jason Leopold learned that she had been using a private email server to conduct official business, he submitted a FOIA request. A judge sided with Leopold, and despite emails being deleted by Clinton and her comrades, there still remained much that showed her character and her motivations, such as this email sent from longtime friend Sidney Blumenthal, who had been senior advisor to Bill Clinton when he was president. The email put forth that French President Nicolas Sarkozy was intent to attack Libya, to control resources, and to stop Gaddafi from implementing a gold-backed Pan-African currency, thereby lessening French clout in the area. Under the guise of protecting Libyan residents, Clinton convinced then-President Barack Obama to get involved. The U.S. military, alongside their comrades in NATO, then proceeded to bomb civilian infrastructure in an effort to effect a regime change. They also funded and armed Gaddafi's rivals. This is all well documented. Check out how Clinton reacted upon learning that Gaddafi had been slain.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
The intervention of the United States military and their comrades ultimately led to a civil war. Even Obama later acknowledged the shenanigan as the worst mistake in his presidency. But their goals, stopping someone critical to the U.S. regime and potential competition to U.S. dollar hegemony, was successful. It was as if it was out of a playbook or something. And indeed, looking back, it is exactly how the CIA has operated. Their modus operandi to enact regime change by funding adversaries and spreading disinformation. But back to Ryan's point, that, minus the unethical aspect, Dash could learn some things from the U.S. dollar system. So, how do we go about that? Do we ask permission to operate, to compete? Do we hope the biggest bully in the schoolyard will chill out and let us play? Do we wait for the U.S. dollar system to collapse? After all, we're seeing the global dominance of the U.S. dollar slip, what's called de-dollarization. Maybe we should just bide our time? Or do we take what we can learn from the U.S. dollar system, and from any other network, build Dash into a superior means of exchange, and outcompete them? It's not an easy task, but for those of us who prefer not to empower the unethical, and to make the world better, today, it's among the most important.
I choose option 3. How about y'all?
I'm not sure which one that was. What was that one?
It was the final one. The not waiting for chaos.
Yeah. Proactive.
Not begging for permission from the least likely people to give it, but just building what we can and distributing it where we can. And yeah, how's it going today, fellas?
Great.
All right.
Great.
Hello.
Hi, Jan. You all may remember that Jan first visited us about 2 months ago. And that was when his project, then dubbed Merchant Credits. Whoa, did I just make myself? No, sorry. We're working with a little bit different setup. But first dubbed Merchant Credits was first announced, and Jan has been hard at work since then. And he is here today to share with us what he has done. So before we send it on over to our friend Jan, do you have any comments you'd like to make about this project, Ryan?
No, I think we should probably jump right in to Jan's presentation. I might have some things to say afterwards.
All right, let's do it. What can I bring up
All
the
right.
screen at this point?
No, actually what you said, it was first name Merchant Credits, and we had it as a working name, Merchant Credits. And while working on it during the last 2 months, there were some maybe things that needs to be clarified. And basically, I would like to talk again about what it is. What is it, this project? What is it about? Is it gift cards? Is it sort of payment infrastructure, or is it a stable coin? Is it digital cash, or what is it? So we can start with the name, the Merchant Credits. When we did, or actually you, Amanda, did some research about how it relates to gift cards, for instance. When I was looking up merchant credits, the term is actually used already, and that refers to the mechanism when merchants are providing credit to the customer, which is basically exact opposite than what's happening in gift cards, and also what's happening in this payment mechanism. So I refer to it right now as the purchase credits instead of merchant credits, but it can be named as well payment credits. I'm open for suggestions. You have mentioned that maybe you have some suggestions yourself, but anyone from the community, if they feel strongly about how these tokens or credits or units should be called, I would be glad to hear from them. And regarding the application that is used for management of these credits, I refer to it as CreditPal right now. I also use the name CreditPay. So again, it's I do not insist on any of these names, but I think for sake of clarity, I am using purchase credits and CreditPal for the application. The other thing,
it sounds like what's remaining is the word credit, and that seems like a mysterious word for a lot of people. Like what is credit? And you've dropped the name merchant, but what is it about credit that you think this project facilitates?
Well, I think that credit is a common name for a unit that you might use in financial transactions. So you might say that you have credits. Of course, it can be tokens as well, or units. That's perfectly fine with me. But regarding that, there is crediting going on in this mechanism, and that's exactly what I would like to clarify as well, because the merchant is a debtor and an issuer in this mechanism, and the customer is actually the creditor. The customer provides credit to the merchant, and the merchant issues these credits for sake of management of the credit. So the credit that merchant has with any potential customer is managed by this CreditPal application, along with the Dash network. And the credit gets repaid by the customer's purchase of the merchant's goods or services. That's how it gets equalized, how it gets refunded. And that's pretty much like what's going on in gift cards. But as Amanda did the extensive research on gift cards are quite different from what we are working on in this project, because gift cards are not really like first-class digital citizens. It's at the end a plain text, a string that gets exchanged. So as soon as it goes through several levels of exchange, which is exactly what's going on, as she has found out, there is problem with double spending. You might buy a gift card that basically has been claimed already, and that's a big problem for this gift card narrative and industry as it is standing right now. Also, the gift cards are contractual. So for you, if you want to use gift cards, you'll sign a contract with the issuer of the gift cards. Gift cards also are not exactly convenient as means of exchange, because you don't get any change. You have to supplement it with your cash or with some other means of payment. There's also no unified user experience for gift cards. You get different user experience from different issuers, and so overall to run a gift card program, it's kind of big overhead or inconvenient overhead for merchants, especially small ones. But with this, these things, like there is no double spending issue, you don't need contract, you can actually get change. Those are things that are different in this purchase credit project. The other aspect that we address, which actually is completely different from gift cards, it's like if you look, for instance, on Visa or MasterCard, they are basically having their own self-standing infrastructure for payments with the devices. They have the terminals, they have the cards with the chips, and you have this. They are operating this entire infrastructure, which of course is centralized. But in this project, we de facto have a means to have decentralized payment physical infrastructure, where you can pay on the spot in the physical shops with your mobile phone, and you do peer-to-peer transaction digitally. Another aspect that I really like, and that's actually how I came first to this idea, is the narrative of stablecoins. Because in this project, we actually create stablecoins that are issued and are naturally backed by the customers as they demand for the units or for the credits. So
when you say that, let me clarify that for a moment, Jan. When you say we're in effect issuing stable coins, is that to say that when somebody engages in one of these credit transactions, the sort of token on the Dash network that represents their transaction is representing a specific dollar amount, a specific euro amount, and hence does it kind of act as an NFT in a way?
Yes, you have digital representation of what you charge the creditor who is potential customer. You charge them, and in exchange for their dollars or euros, you issue them the credits, which again is back in this game of is it a gift card, or is it a credit, or is it a token? Basically, that if it's a unit, it's a digital representation of the dollars or euros that you give to the issuer. which is the merchant.
Yeah, I think at this point it might make most sense to jump right into the demo, because some people might be wondering what this is about. It seems abstract, and I think if we jump into this mock, then a lot of things will make more sense.
Let's do it. Okay, so I have it pulled up, Jan. So just tell me what you'd like me to do.
Well, perhaps you're in the middle of the app right now. So if can you reload it or go?
Let me give it a go. This is in the middle. Right you are. I don't.
If you just.
Yes. Here. Okay, yeah, now?
Yep.
Yes. So that's what you will see if you install the application on your mobile device. We also have APK or Android package for this mockup. So if you install and run it for the first time, you have to choose whether you want to run it as an individual or as business. So if you go for business, if you click on, then you set up either using existing mnemonic. You can click on using existing.
Okay.
Or you can click on new business. And if it's new, you need to fill in some metadata about your business and about the credits that you will be issuing. These metadata are actually those that get stored in the on platform in the document contract. But you can use either of them. You can basically just click continue right now because it's not connected yet. It's just a mockup. And once you have your business set up, you can issue or receive these purchase credits. And you do that by entering amount. I mean, if you try to press issue right now, it will not. Okay. So you entered 30. You have to enter the amount that you want to issue. So let's say any number, 12 or 30, and press issue.
So I come in. I'm the customer. I'm coming into Amanda's Cookies shop, and I'm saying, "Hey, I want to purchase $30 worth of in-store credit." And I hand over $30 US, like green pieces of paper, and then she's going through this flow to issue me the 30 credits. Let's say that I'm like why I would do this. Maybe I've already made my purchase, but I want to show my loyalty to Amanda's Cookies, and I'll come back and use this credit, or I want to give it to somebody else. Maybe I'm going ahead of the story here, but I just wanted to paint the picture here. So Amanda's the merchant issuing me in-store credit is how I think of it. Yeah.
So until now, nothing has really happened. But in order to really issue the credits, that's what's going on right now. So you get this page, which is a mock-up for a camera with which you could scan a QR code. That's the big gray area there. That's the one that you should point on the QR code of the customer who is willing to buy or fund, more precisely, fund your credits. So at this moment, the merchant will go ahead only after he or she will charge you 30 euros or $30. And once they do it, they show the QR code on their device, and by scanning their QR code, you will issue the 30 credits to that customer, and you confirm it on this page. So by this confirmation, the customer will get 30 credits in their wallet.
Amanda scanned my wallet as I'm the customer. Amanda's the merchant. She scanned my wallet.
You can go. We can go through that. We can go through that again. Amanda, make another issuance, whatever amount.
So it's my
$200.
cookie store, and Ryan wants to buy $200 to support his diabetic constitution.
I think it's set to It's set to euros, but what? Okay, but go and issue. It will. You can read in the small square
now,
that
Amanda is scanning my QR code at this point, right?
Exactly. It's written in the small square, but Amanda is scanning QR code generated by your wallet on your device.
Yeah, I installed this same application, but instead of merchant or business, I clicked individual. And then when I wanted to buy the credits, I pressed some buttons and I got a QR code on my phone. And now I handed over the 200 euros, and Amanda is now waiting for me to present my QR code, just like I would receive crypto. I'd present my QR code. She's going to scan it, and that way she sends me this token.
Exactly. Okay. So you do this, you scan to, or you can cancel it also on the top if you cross. Well, you don't see it if you. Yeah. So you go back. So this is the issuance, and right now, let's say that you, Ryan, come back 2 hours later, or maybe a week later, and you are purchasing some cookies for €20. So Amanda goes and you tell her that you pay with your credit. So she enters €20, and then she presses receive purchase credits.
Okay. And now I'm scanning her QR code.
And exactly. Now it's you who's scanning with your wallet this QR code, and then you need to confirm it. We actually can go through through the customer's experience as well, because we just need to go through the setup again.
Yeah,
in this mockup,
I think. But just so I'm understanding this right, this seems a lot like this merchant is essentially issuing stablecoin. The merchant's issuing stable coins to me. I give her 200 euros of cash, and she gives me 200 euros worth of stable coins. And now when I want to spend that, I'm sending those stable coins, those stable merchant credits, back to her, and she's canceling them at that point. And
exactly.
I no longer have 200 euros of liabilities to send goods liabilities to this customer. I now have 180 euros of liabilities to this customer.
Yes, that's definitely one way to
so
put
now
it.
Instead of banks issuing creating money out of thin air, it's actually merchants issuing money out of thin air backed by their goods.
Well, that's the point. Actually, the merchants are the issuers, but they are also the debtors. The real creditor here are the customers, or the potential customers, to be more precise.
Right. I credited her because I gave her $200, and she didn't give me anything in return other than
exactly
an IOU that I can present back to her to get goods.
Yes, but she has the money, so she has the backing exactly exactly fitting the value of the credit.
Right. So she has.
So it really depends. That's this piggy kind of understand the way you want to understand it, but like the concept of it is actually exactly the same as what's going on in gift cards. Because when you buy gift card, you actually pay for it as well, and you are the creditor. The merchant gets the money ahead of time, and it's up to you whether you are going to claim it sometime later. And what the merchant does for you is provides this mechanism of accounting for the debt, and recognizing the gift card in case of gift card, and this purchase credits in case of this application.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, at least some people might be asking the question at this point. Okay, let's say this is all built and everything, and there are no technical issues. But what about a merchant that issues a bunch of credits, takes in a bunch of money from customers, issues a bunch of credits to customers, and then the customer comes back 3 months from then, and then they say, "Oh, that program was decommissioned. We're no longer doing that," and they basically just, they got the money, but they're running off without giving anything in return.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to point out that with gift cards, this is even bigger risk for you, because it's completely, or it's solely run by
their infrastructure.
By their infrastructure. So if they say it's over and you lost your gift cards and you lost all the value, I don't know what you would do in that situation. That would be also answer to your question. But what's different here is that there is actually a record about what has been done through this mechanism, because everything is stored on the core blockchain of Dash. So the creditors, the potential customers, they can prove with this app that they have received these credits of certain value, and what was the unit in which it was denominated. Of course, I don't know how far you can get legally with this, but I haven't studied that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can go back through the individual flow on the application at this point.
All right, one moment. I know that you all had hoped that I would be able to just get this to fit to screen, and I did have it, but every time I switch windows, it goes back to being too big. So I'm sorry about that.
Let's have Jan answer this question from one time while you're getting back there.
Mm-hmm. Would credits only be redeemable at one specific merchant, or would the same credit work elsewhere too? By default, it would be recognized only by the merchant who issued it. That's for certain. But of course, there are options for exchanging these credits. Make a exchange, some decentralized exchange where people could exchange credits that are, let's say, denominated in euros or in dollars, or perhaps even change between the units. But technically, it works so that the issuer is the one who automatically recognizes its own credits. It does not recognize somebody else's credits.
Okay.
So if you so to give example to one time, if you would come to Amanda's shop and you would have in your wallet only credits from some other shop, okay, and you would try to pay with that to Amanda, her app would not recognize it. It just would not go through.
Right.
Okay. All right. So now I will go in as a business.
No, as an individual.
No,
thank you.
As individual Ryan.
So this is me now.
So existing, again, like with the merchant, it would be a mnemonic, and new, which is, hey, we'll generate a new empty wallet. All right. So this would be from Ryan's point of view. He's in
he has a new one. He has a new one, so he cannot do anything else than fund new purchase credits.
Yeah, and this is that step where I'm at the counter of Amanda's cookie store, and
you
I
have
just
to pay.
enter the 200 euros, or I paid with a credit card or whatever, and then
Okay.
I'm
Oh, and
saying,
now
give me
presuming
those
that you've
credits.
done that, now you have the option to see your available credits and spend them.
Yep. Okay, so now I have my phone. I'm spending my credits that I already have in my wallet now, and I'm scanning your
Hey, there you go.
QR code.
What's this fancy lock for?
Yeah, it's just so that it does not confirm right away if you are a little bit messy with your fingers, and so yeah, you have to like you have to drag it to the side to
So
be
I don't
able to
accidentally spend.
But that is of course just a UI thing.
Yeah.
So that was me just purchasing the cookies from the credits that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And from now on, it's just repetition. It's a loop, endless loop of crediting and purchasing. Yeah.
Yeah. So this feels a lot like any crypto wallet experience, where, you know, if I'm sending payments, I'm scanning a QR code. If I'm receiving, I'm presenting my QR code to be scanned. And the only difference here is that I'm sending and receiving in-store credit to a specific merchant, where this isn't fungible money that anybody can use outside of a specific store.
Yes. Yeah, that's the basic form of it. So technically speaking, the basic functions or the basic parts of the protocol is the issuance, where the application issues the credit to the creditor's wallet, and then it is the purchase, and that's where the tokens basically return back to the issuer. The extension of this concept would be transfer. It means that, let's say you want to, that's basically what is a big feature of gift cards. It means that you can gift it. That's why it's called that way. That you can gift it to someone else. You have to give it to your friends, or as a birthday gift, or what you wish. And that would basically mean, because the way it works is that everything goes through the issuer. So on the protocol level, the transfer would be that you pay back to the issuer, and it automatically reissues it to a new address. That's how the transfer would work. And
Please continue.
Okay. I thought that you wanted to ask something. The further extension then would be exchange. That's basically a little bit addresses what One Time has asked for, and that would allow that. That would have to be another application, because you need some matching signal between people who want Amanda's credits and who wants my credits. You need some matching signal, whether there are two people wanting each other's credits. So for that one, there would have to be some more. It basically needs some sort of smart contract, functionality, so that you can make exchange possible. But it's definitely technically possible as well. But it's not in the first version.
I'm struck that part of or maybe even a main unique value proposition here is that this transaction proves agreement on both sides of the amount. Let me explain the application that has come to mind that makes this like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see how that would potentially be quite valuable. So here in Utah, there is an actual bank for, among other metal types, for gold backs. I think I've shown them here on the show before. They're these printed pieces of gold, and there is a bank, a vault here in Utah that will store gold backs or, you know, pieces of bullion gold, pieces of bullion silver, what have you. And they act as a bank. They even pay interest on vaulted things held there, at least on gold backs anyway. So anyway, that's like cool and interesting, and I've been looking into it. And I started looking into their security protocols because as Pete smartly asked the other day, he said, yeah, what if their database gets wiped out? I guess in a way, I mean, like, you know, kind of like on Fight Club. What if things go straight Fight Club and people don't know the balances that are on deposit anymore? And so, you know, the goal, or the bank website, they call themselves like UPMA, United Precious Metals Association. They say, well, don't worry about that. We have paper backups. We make regular paper backups. And I'm thinking, okay, that's great. I'll make paper backups too if I become your client. But what if my paper backup doesn't match your paper backup? And so what you're talking about now would provide proof that at the point of deposit, both the bank and the depositor agreed on the amount that's being deposited, because otherwise it's just a he said, she said, isn't it?
Yeah. You have this kind of bond on blockchain. Yes.
It would help if there was some kind of social proof at the beginning of the process, where if a merchant starts this process and they want to advertise that you can buy their gift cards, buy their merchant credits, or whatever we're calling it now, that they go on their official Twitter handle and say, you know, this is our identity, and yes, we are starting this program. I'm just thinking of very small merchants that, you know, don't have some kind of notoriety, and if they issue you credits, and then even if it is on a blockchain, there wouldn't be any social proof that was the merchant that actually started the program. Does this make sense? Like, let's take the Amanda's Cookies thing again. Unless I know from Amanda's Cookies at x.com that it was actually Amanda starting this, then whether or not it's on a blockchain, it doesn't matter, because it wasn't actually Amanda that, you know, what we know as Amanda, which is Amanda's Twitter profile, for example.
So it would need to be like a known private key account, you're saying? Something
like that. I don't know. This is all things that you can just add on as social proof that this merchant actually started the program and is issuing these credits.
Yeah.
I think there should be some kind of legal, at least a reference to some legal framework or legal agreement that goes into action when you do this. Otherwise, it's definitely based on trust alone. If you are starting to issue your credits or whatever.
Yeah.
And so
I think
that's correct.
We're not trying to solve the legal issues necessarily. I was just kind of curious. That might be a good marketing angle anyway. But of course that's given by the huge flexibility of this, because basically these credits, as we call them, but maybe token really is a better word after this discussion again. The flexibility is big. I mean, you can of course refer to US dollars or euros or yens, but you can easily make the backing. It can refer or represent bananas or apples or excess attempts or what have you. It's up to you. What is the unit that actually those credits represent? Right. Okay. I think that's a good overview. What's the roadmap? Are you developing this? Are you waiting on platform? Are you ready to go? What's your time frame?
Well, my time frame is that I am implementing this on my own with help of others, but of course I have to find the help from others by myself. But I implement it. But there are a lot of things that can be reused. I think for example, the web wallet that has been done in Incubator, it's very interesting for me because you have been dealing with the memo data. So I would like to reuse that. How to use JavaScript basically to make the payload for the op return part of the transaction. Then I need platform. So the first version will be probably on testnet because the metadata about merchants is stored in data contract. So it's necessary for that. Now, what I have kind of figured out even further after our last meeting is that it would be nice to have the amounts and the issuer's ID encrypted as well, so that it's completely private and it's not actually seen publicly, which means that the issuance and purchase accounting is provable only by the two involved in the transaction. It means by the customer and by the merchant and by nobody else. And so for that it might be feasible that that some metadata for the individuals, for the customers, is stored on in data contract as well.
Okay.
And then there is this option right now, as I'm thinking about it and as I want to go further, is that these transactions are on the core chain. But it's a question how efficient that would be if those actual transactions would be on the platform as well. I haven't done much. I didn't get to that stage yet.
Speaking of other things to get to, did we want to go over that flow chart if for only the reason of just showing it so that people can stop and pause? We may not need to discuss it, or did you want to just refine that further?
We can have so what I would like to mention here is the links for these things that we have shown, so people can try it and they can download the APK for the Android app as well. And then there is a flow chart that kind of clarifies this little bit hard to imagine flow of the process. Okay. So we can show it right now. There are in the flow chart, there are basically two flows. One is from the merchants or from the issuer's perspective, and the other one is from the creditors or from the customer's perspective. And that basically clarifies what we have been talking about and showing here today, how the process works. And it's quite a high level, of course, but it's good to clarify that if someone wants to study the process itself.
Yeah, we'll just finish doing this little preview here, and then maybe you can jump over to the legend so that people can see that real briefly. But I don't I don't think that we need to necessarily talk about this. I just wanted to show it in case somebody was really interested in the project and maybe even wanted to help get involved. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. Anything else from either of you?
No, thank you.
I think for me that's all what I have right now, and I will I will be working on this. So when I have some better results, I will be back with that.
Yeah, great. As far as I know, I know that Dash platform is in 1.0 dev versioning right now, and I'm hoping to see that on platform the 1.0, because I think right now it's still 0.25. Was it 25 or 15? I can't remember. But anyway, one of the 0.1s instead of the 1.0. So once that's 1.0, I see no reason to wait on at least trying to get some kind of preliminary work done on platform, just to see what the process is, like what the data modeling is, how you actually upload that to platform. That's what I'm hoping to see this quarter.
Okay, that would be good. I think it's I need to learn some more about platform. For instance, it is to my knowledge or to my understanding, the one who establishes the data contract is basically the one who can always change it and can always sort of like wipe it out. That's is that a feature that is correct, or that will have some other possibilities? That's something I would like to know. But of course, now we are talking about what I need to figure out, and I will do it.
There are both options.
Discord
on platform. There are immutable data contracts, and then there are immutable, meaning like once the developer puts that up there, even they can't change it, as far as I understand. But then in addition to that, there are ones that you can change. So it should fit your use case.
Okay.
And then to answer one time's question here, if a merchant has multiple stores and they want the same credits to work at any of their stores, would that be like any crypto wallet where you can have the same private key instance running on multiple devices?
Yeah, it will be pretty much as HD wallet. So yeah, I still have to maybe think out some edge cases, but I think it should work the same way as if you run multiple instances of HD wallet, at the same time, because basically for each issuance and for each payment you use new HD address, but maybe with the issuance there might be some problems. I don't know. Yeah, like if you have, I think especially with the issuance, if you want to issue simultaneously at the same time from many devices, there will have to be some kind of checking on that.
We need some Byzantine work, some Byzantine protection there. One last question, Jan, before we sign off today. I just wondered if you would tell us a bit about what your degree, or at least one of your degrees, is in, because I had never heard this term before. It's geo what? Will you just tell us?
Geo-informatics, that's regarding maps and location and positioning on the Earth. So my background really is in spatial databases. It means databases regarding 3 dimensions and time. That's my background.
Dang.
And this is really like like a fun project for me. That yeah, I like cryptocurrencies and I like Dash. So this is you could say it's a hobby project, but I would like to try to do it, like to finish something out of this.
Well, the app we've been talking about today would work in space and time. So I see the tie-in there. So yeah, we will see you all next week when we are going to have an update. Is it from Jojo or from Alessandro next week, Ryan?
I believe Alessandro.
And what is Alessandro going to tell us about?
He's been doing some work on the core Dash core through the incubator. So I just wanted to get some insights on what he's up to a little bit more in depth. I think we'll wait till next week because he has about 3 different projects that he's working on, and I'm not sure if we want to cover them all in one episode or split it up. But yeah, it's some exciting stuff on the Dash core side.
Okay, sounds good. All right, until then, bye everybody.
Bye.